Mucho gusto, everybody. Predetermined Happy New Year's. Charles, you muted yourself. Yeah, there you go. So welcome, everybody, to Boogeyman Radio. I'm David.
I'm Charlie. How's it going, everybody?
And
Spurrier apparently needs us to stand up together, but separately.
So, like, I mean,
I don't know. Whatever. Awkward. Anyway,
I'm already standing.
Oh, I know that's a lie, but whatever. How's everybody doing tonight? Hope everybody's had a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday, and the weekend of Christmas was wonderful as well. And whatever holiday traditions you celebrate.
Hello, Denise, Spurrier, Justin. What's up, Kim? Quick howdy ho to Odd. Cassie, so sassy. Hope you all are doing good.
Yes.
Well, the new year is upon us, or almost upon us. We have, 3 days, 4 days left?
Something like that, yeah. I've stopped counting.
3 more days till it's the new year.
But we'll be back in 2022.
Oh, show. This is our 40th episode.
40? What?
40.
Big 40. That's wild.
That's crazy.
That's
amazing. Like it's hard to fathom that we did that many shows already.
I know, right?
It feels like we should be on 20 or something.
Feels like it, but hey, just grind it out. One episode after another. We got this.
Yeah. Hey, and hopefully some big things in store for 2022,
yes,
which we'll talk about in a second. But first, Christmas. Did it go good for you?
Yes, Christmas was very, very fun. I had a great time. Spent it with, so kind of started off 2 days. It was Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Had it with my girlfriend and her dad and his side of the family. And then the next day it was my girlfriend and her mom's side of the family. And it was a great time. Had a blast. One of my family members is suffering from COVID. So we weren't able to meet up with that side of with my family yet, but that'll be coming here pretty shortly. Hopefully soon. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, how did yours go?
Mine was good. My brother and I, we drank.
Well, I mean that's a given for you.
But outside of that, we had a good Christmas. I had my daughter here, and then we went over to Branson to my mom's for a few days and had Christmas over there as well. So good. Yeah, and the Bears won finally.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
So my Christmas was great.
Who'd they beat, Dave?
Seattle.
The Seahawks?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how good their record is this season anyways, but it's fine.
Their record's not as good as what they should be because Russell Wilson missed like 4 games.
Well,
so
it tends to happen.
Yeah, it happens.
You know, and I got to say, Chiefs didn't do too bad against the Steelers, but of course it's the Steelers, so nobody's worried.
Yeah. Steelers aren't going anywhere.
No.
Kim Livy throwing up a question already. What do you think about NASA bringing in clergy about aliens?
I asked this question in Denise's show earlier today, and I think it's very. You've heard about this, right, Dave?
I have not.
Okay, so yeah, NASA is hiring like 40-something theologians, maybe less than that, to investigate the idea of how people will react if we come in contact with alien species.
Call me crazy, but I don't think they would speak for the whole U.S., or they should.
I don't think so either, but theologians are for people that are religious. That's obviously not the entire U.S.
Yeah.
Now, I do consider myself not necessarily religious, but spiritual in some aspects. And if we did meet aliens, I would totally be okay with it as long as they were friendly.
Hey, Laurie.
As long as they were friendly. As long as they're friendly aliens, we're good.
Yeah.
But if they're evil and they want to be mean, just send them through a black hole.
Then he says no NFL for me.
That makes sense. I kind of have to watch it at work, so I can't say no either way. So, like, it's like the Olympics. I don't want to watch the Olympics, but kind of have to.
Yeah. Anymore, I kind of feel like not that the NFL is completely rigged, but like I think the officials are
I think
kind of
Denise's. It's more of her. Not necessarily that it's rigged, but it's more of like political correctness and
that
woke stuff.
I just don't pay attention to that.
Yeah, I'm
Like the whole kneeling thing.
try
I
not
just
to. But
I
well,
don't even
it's funny you don't hear about that anymore this year. You know, nobody's talked about kneeling at all this year.
well even when they were like I just don't watch that part of the game.
Propaganda.
It's to me it's just not a big deal.
No point
Um,
wasting your breath.
yeah, but I do believe that the refs are directed to sway some of these games.
With how interesting their calls have gotten this
Yeah,
last year, really. But anyways, back to the theologians thing. I am very interested to see what happens. And also something else, they actually confirmed a new department is being made to investigate UFOs, but it's
really.
going to be a more public department, not just they didn't keep it a secret. This was actually announced on like Good Morning America or some morning show
Think this
that
is more of a setup to
either it's going to
cushion
be
the relation between the general public
well,
and
yes,
what
because
they're doing.
some of the things that they highlighted in the art in the reel was like they're gonna backwards engineer this technology and figure out who's got it if no. But I'm just saying like we've already been doing this for years.
Yeah, that's what I'm sitting there thinking. Like, yeah,
New to conspiracy theorists, we've been doing this. Or the United States has been doing this. Well, not just the United States, but secret government agencies have been doing this for years already, and
decade.
they are now talking about it on national news media.
Well, everything
That a
comes out
new
50 years
department,
later.
well, right, that a new department is being opened up for this exact purposes.
Yep.
What do you think's going to happen? I think technology now is going to start taking off even more.
And then people were laughing at Trump when he said he was going to create Space Force.
Right. Well, then that was another question. Was like, well, what's Space Force going to do? Wasn't that kind of their point? And they're like, oh no, Space Force is still going to have a major part of this, but yeah, let's just make fun of somebody for let's also make fun of somebody who suggested we should rake the forest, and then oh look at that, California's raking their forest.
Yeah.
Anyways,
People's. Let's see. Too political. Yes.
agreed. Very, very much so.
All got too political. Yeah, Kim. Sorry, everybody had COVID. That sucks.
Yeah, it does really suck. Sorry, Kim.
Hopefully, you guys can get together sooner.
Question is, are they doing okay? That's the question. Are their symptoms okay? Are they severe, mild? Is everybody doing okay? That's the main question. Because to me, COVID's becoming COVID. Oh yeah, Dyson spheres. That'd be interesting. Let's see. How they same time they launched a new telescope. Yeah, and that's another thing. That Dave, have you heard about this telescope?
Yes.
Dude, are you ready for this? Like, are you truly ready for this? Like, did you watch the video of the drone or whatever craft
The rover
into the sun?
Yeah.
Didn't know that we could go into the sun.
Yeah, withstanding that kind of temperature. I mean, what the?
I always thought that's what it was like. It was just any object burns up.
I'll tell you what braced me for like this news of this new telescope was just before they started talking about this new telescope. There's a video that's out on YouTube. We sent a rover out to Jupiter, and so we can get a closer look at it and everything like that. And then we started looking at their moons with it. Well, then they sent the rover out to Saturn, and to check out those moons and they got all the way out to Pluto, sent out these pictures, and then it left our solar system. They lost contact with it. It left solar system, and then they reestablished contact with it, and they're trying to fly it to the next nearest solar system.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing how it can actually Our signals can ping that far.
And here's the thing: that thing was built like 20 years ago, and it's
Yeah,
got an HD camera on it. And if you think that we don't have technology way in advance than what we're aware of, I mean,
100%,
yeah,
100%. And you know who I would like to have either be in charge of it or like maybe bring it out to the public?
Elon Musk.
Exactly.
Yeah, science is getting to be pretty incredible right now, and that's we're going to talk a little bit about science and how it's going here in a little bit because tonight we are talking about prophets and
Yes.
prophecies and predictions. And um, there's been some really interesting people over the years that have made some fantabulous claims over the centuries. And some of them have hit, some of them have missed. I mean, you can't be 100%. I mean, just to face the fact. Things get misconstrued or, misidentified. So things are going to be
Yeah.
up there.
Absolutely.
So let's get the obvious thing out of the way here. The obvious one, right? Everybody's going to start talking about uh, Denise. Denise.
Down the
Don't get
way.
us started. um, let's talk about the obvious one. I'm going to bring up some Nostradamus predictions. And he's got some predictions that are for 2022 that we'll talk about. And we'll just kind of go over some of the more.
One thing I do want to shout out because we have to, everybody should and has to do this when they're talking about predictions in the future. You're not going to talk about the Simpsons, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay, I'm just going to say it right now. I don't have all the different times that the Simpsons was right, but there's been a lot of times that things that have happened in Simpsons episodes have happened in real life. So, if you
I,
guys want to have a little bit of fun, go to YouTube and type in like Simpson predictions that were right or something. Literally, I'm going to tell you one that blew my mind. Two of them. When Donald Trump comes down the freaking escalator and waves the exact same way, and then when the leaders of the world are meeting around this like globe summit thing with their hands on the globe, happens the exact same way in real life as it does on The Simpsons.
yeah.
It's so weird.
Um, yeah.
I was gonna say sorry. That's one thing I want to throw out there. So if you
Well,
want to deep dive
something I
into it,
forgot to do before I get started with the Nostradamus thing here. Hey guys, big news that came out of my camp earlier this week or last week is this. Where to go? October 7th and 8th. We are putting together the Haunting History Paracon. Paracon. If I wish I could do some effects here for that.
Hurricane.
Con,
Anyways,
con,
there you go.
It's going to be in Joplin, Missouri. Tickets are available if you wanted to come. We have our speakers pretty much set up, which we'll be announcing at the beginning of 2022. We have a lot of vendors. We have some after hour effects activities. After hour effects. I
Sorry, I
keep
couldn't
thinking
contain
that
myself. Hope
we
you like your psychedelics, everybody.
have. We have some after the conference kind of things going on. We're gonna have ghost hunts. We are having a film contest. We are also having a concert. We are going to be having a psychic gallery reading, and some more stuff coming up really soon. We'll be announcing those. If anybody knows anybody that does any filming, we do have a film contest that is opened up now. Short films only. Submission deadline is
Mm-hmm.
August 31st. Film runtime has to be less than 25 minutes total. It's open to any genre, so comedy, horror, whatever. So $30 submission per film. Top three films will be shown at the Route 66 Theater in Webb City. Basically, between August and October 7th, we are going to be going through all the all the videos and choosing the best ones. And then at the Route 66 Theater, when we're showing all three of the top three selected, the audience is going to vote on the winner at that point.
What does the
So
winner get, Dave?
The winner is probably going to be getting a cash prize as well as a plaque slash trophy, which is gonna be
Nice.
cool. Um, so yeah, I'm pretty excited to be doing this one. I know some of you have already gotten some tickets. Denise Pridemore is going to be there.
It's gonna be a
Um,
great con. I can't freaking wait.
yeah, I know.
I'm taking off for this. I'm going to this one. This is
You,
100%. I'm going to this one.
yeah, you guys are going to like some of the guests. Oh, I came this close to having some other guests that a lot of people normally have. Like you see them at all these other paracons,
They're
but
still important too.
there uh, there's some people out there that just don't get invited to these cons or to speak. But I'll
Yes.
tell you what, some of these people that are speaking have better track records and have just as much knowledge, if not more, about the
You know,
subjects.
I was gonna say it's
So,
always all about the experience. Like it's how much, not necessarily how much time you've spent in the field, but if you've gone through and you're like you said, your track record, if you've gone through and you've done and been a part of so much. Oh, this person's on a TV show. Awesome. Is that all they've done? Sometimes, yes, but
yeah. Now, some of these people have been on TV. I'm just going to throw that out there.
yeah, but they haven't done only TV, right?
Right.
Like they've done paranormal stuff outside of the TV
Yeah.
shows. Okay,
Yeah.
see, that's what I'm saying. Like if their extent of paranormal is just, oh, it's only for this web series or it's only for TV, like that, you're not actually interested in the paranormal to me. It's more of just a hobby.
Yeah. Denise said Ron said he can't wait to get conned. Well, there will be two of you, so you'll be paraconned.
Ah, ah, ah,
Mm-hmm.
ah. That's a real knee slapper there. All the people crying.
Kip says, I've always had a strange vibe when in Joplin. That's not how she actually sounds, but I'm just.
Hey,
I don't know what the history of the town is, but it gives me the creeps, which I don't blame you. But Joplin,
Joplin.
part of Joplin is actually pretty damn nice.
All right,
Pretty
I'll give you
damn
that. I'll
nice.
give you that. It's probably one of the least spent time in a city that I've ever had. So,
Yeah.
like, yeah, there's plenty of big ones, but like, I've barely ever been to Joplin, and it's not super far from me.
No, yeah. I mean, you come through there when you come down. But,
True.
okay, now we got that out of the way.
Yes, cat's out of the bag.
Oh, also, for those of you that are looking to buy a haunted place, right now, the 1901 or 1911, I forgot what year it is. Spurrier could throw it in there. The 1901 church is up for sale. For anybody that's interested in buying a haunted location, get a hold of Justin Spurrier.
Is this? I'm guessing in Garnett.
It's in La Harpe, Kansas.
Yep. No, know already where that's at.
It's about 30 minutes from south of
So, can you say what makes it haunted, Dave? Are you allowed to say that?
Ghosts.
Well, no kidding, ghost. but but yeah,
Oh,
because every ghost is different.
I know what you were talking about.
Who was it? Who could it possibly be? Was it? Oh, I don't know. Satan?
Exactly.
Because there was an exorcism done there.
Ah, see, there we go. There's a little bit more backstory. Boom.
Hey, if you want some of the backstory, you can go to Haunting History and look up the 1901 church episode, and you can find the backstory on the church as well as things that we had captured.
So, with it being up for grabs, is it still able to be investigated by like public? Like, can people still investigate it even though it's for sale?
Now, that you will have to direct towards Justin. 1904. Sorry, Justin.
He's in the chat. So, boom. Justin, can people still investigate it even though it's on the market? Or is this even a public place to investigate? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a good question. I'm sure you would have to chat with Justin on that.
Probably. Anyways, yeah, good.
So,
I hope somebody buys it. I mean, all haunted locations need to be bought so they're not just torn down and forgotten about.
they all need a good owner.
Yeah, they do.
All right, guys, let's jump into tonight's subject. Like I said, I was going to get into some Nostradamus stuff here. This is more, everybody knows Nostradamus, like, predicted a crap ton of stuff. But a lot of people don't talk about 2022 because we're just now getting there. And some of the things that he predicted were kind of eh. So like this one, Nostradamus predicted. This is what he said, and I'll tell you what he said and what they deciphered it as. He said, "Blue head shall white head harm in such degree as France's good to both shall amount." What do you think he's talking about?
I have no freaking idea.
So a lot of people are thinking what he's predicting is this. They're predicting. They think he's predicting an invasion of France by a threat from the east. Um, Now the date is speculated to be referring to the spring of 2022.
So a nation to the east of France will be investigated. Jeez.
Oh,
Invaded.
Matt Damon.
Yes.
Yeah.
So a nation from the east of France will invade
France. So what's east of France? Everything.
everything. Literally.
Who's everybody afraid of? Russia. Maybe.
Goes barrel through Ukraine and then just no, that's to the west. Okay, yeah, that would be it.
All right, here's another one for you. Let's see if we can get this one. No abbots, monks, no novices to learn. Honey shall cost far more than candle wax. So high the price of wheat that man is stirred, his fellow man to eat in his despair.
What? Okay. Sounds like a riddle.
Well, that's how he wrote everything, which is ridiculous.
Okay, that's fair. I was reading Kim's line that she put up there.
Yeah.
Putin threatened France. Apparently, I don't know. I haven't heard that yet, so we'll see. But you want to read that one more time?
I'll read it one more time. No abbots, monks, no novices to learn. Honey shall cost far more than candle wax. So high the price of wheat that man is stirred, his fellow man to eat in his despair.
Man has stirred his fellow man into despair. Wow. Well, let's say to me it says famine straight up, but if it could also be because honey is gold, right? It's gold color. So could that maybe have to do something with gold?
Well,
It's more expensive than gold.
I mean, I know where you're going with that, and it's close. I mean, it does fall in line with a little bit of this. A lot of people think that Nostradamus is warning against rising prices in a failing economy. So inflation and starvation is what they think he's predicting for 2022.
Well, we're already starting the beginning of that, so, and they're saying it's supposed to just get a lot worse.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to do one more Nostradamus prediction for 2022. Let's see if we can get this.
How do we know? Sorry, when Nostradamus did his predictions, how do we know he meant 2022 specifically? Is it labeled?
I don't know. You would have to read his actual text.
See, Denise has got a point. That's very believable. I mean, we're already building weapon systems along the Ukrainian and Russia border, so I wouldn't be surprised.
And just so you guys know, later in the show, we are going to make our own bold predictions for next year.
Yes. But yeah, no, that's a very good one.
All right. Here's one more.
Yes.
The moon in the full of night over the high mountain, the new sage with a lone brain sees it. By his disciples invited to be immortal, eyes to the south, hands in bosoms, and bodies in the fire.
hands and bosoms and fire. So the moon rising over the mountain. Interesting. Then what's the next line?
The new sage with a lone brain sees it.
The new sage, the lone brain sees it. So the sage sees the moon over the mountain. Okay.
By his disciples invited to be immoral.
By whose disciples?
His.
Who's his?
Probably the new sage.
By his new disciples. Oh, is it the coming of Jesus? No.
No.
Oh, wait. Say the next line again.
The disciple one? Or the last one?
After that one.
Eyes to the south, hands in bosoms, bodies in the fire.
So bosoms is what? Your is that your what does bosoms mean?
It's like your chest.
Hands and chest, bodies to the fire.
Maybe.
Coming of grunions. No idea what that is.
It was more like free association poetry.
Well, I mean, Nostradamus did write down in poetic form.
And he also wrote in riddles too.
Yeah, he did.
He did a lot of things.
That one's interesting. So what do they say that one is? Just that it's...
So they say that since technology has evolved over so much over the last few decades, that it's hard to predict what developments will be made one year to the next. This makes it even more impressive that Nostradamus appeared to hypothesize about artificial intelligence almost 5 decades ago. Artificial intelligence can range from smart speakers and predictive text to facial recognition and self-driving cars. Many experts have issued warnings about the implications of relying too much on technology, especially when it comes to robots. Nostradamus was ahead of this curve with this description of immortal disciples and the potentially negative consequences.
Well, if it's saying that the sage's disciples and their hearts or their Denise makes a good point. Bosom could be taken as heart or brought close. So their hands are being brought close, either that or to the heart.
Well, when they bury people and they cross their arms,
death.
And the body in the fire, they're cremating.
So what if this new sage is not a good thing?
No. Could be somebody that's developed AI. And Elon Musk has already come out and said that AI is not a good thing.
Yeah.
He's seen what it can do. And like, but even all that, he's still creating AI.
Well, okay, but here's the thing. He also has a way to take on AI. Have you seen what Neuralink is? Have you heard of that at all? Okay.
Yeah.
That is his answer. So it helps with a lot of different. It could do a lot of different things, but Neuralink could be his way of combating AI.
Yeah.
Like for human beings to keep up with AI.
With this prediction being associated with 2022, I could see like the self-driving cars. They're starting to come out with a lot more. I can see some accidents and stuff happening with those. Like a lot of bad things happening with that shit. I mean,
yeah. Just make the number of car crashes go up.
Yeah.
You know, you want to see who looks and acts like AI. That's freaking.
That is himself. And Zuck, yeah. Zuck is a robot, man.
Zuck is
an android.
A robot. He's not real. He's a lizard. What?
What have you got, Charles? What you got?
I got a few things. So, some of these were just kind of interesting, and I thought they're just predictions that have come true. Now I do want to say, I don't know if this would be more of a prediction. Oh, this one's too long. I'm going to save that one. That'll be for later in the show.
But for the After Dark?
I don't know. Well, maybe. So, have you ever heard of a guy named Roger Ebert?
Roger, like Siskel and Ebert? Roger Ebert? Or
no.
Isn't he like one of the film critics? Roger
Ebert.
Gene Siskel and Robert Ebert.
Sure.
I think those are their names.
So, this guy, in 1987, beloved movie critic, good job, Dave, gave an interview to Omni magazine in which he was asked a pretty simple question. How did he think the competition between movies and television would play out? So, or what it would be in the future. He says his answers probably sounded like that of a chin-scratching intellectual. Then it sounded like words of a dang prophet. So he goes on to say We will have high definition widescreen television sets and a push button dial system to order the movie you want at the time you want it. You'll not go to a movie store, but instead order a movie on demand and then pay for it. Video cassette tapes, as we know them, now will be obsolete, both for showing pre-recorded movies and for recording movies. People will record films on 8 millimeter and will play them back using laser disc CD technology. With this revolution in delivery and distribution, anyone in any size town or hamlet will see the movies he or she wants to see.
That's spot on.
That is literally spot on. Like, this dude predicted in 1987, predicted what movies were going to be like in the future. Like, that's awesome. That's really cool.
You think maybe they had talked about this kind of technology, like some of these film companies,
Maybe.
and I mean,
maybe. I mean, I don't. With
if they brainstormed, say they just sat around and brainstormed with a bunch of heads, and then like somebody's like, "Oh, we're gonna have movies on CDs. Where are we gonna go after that? Let's think here. What's a quicker way to do this?" And I mean, they may have thought about it like in that capacity,
yeah,
or come up with that.
Well, okay, so the first CD, so compact disc, was made in 1982. So the dude already knew about some sort of laser technology with CDs, but he talked about that in even greater detail. He knew like people were going to be able to pay for it like that. So it's interesting that the market took that long to capitalize, but they probably just needed those systems and technology to be able to do that. The technology simply didn't exist yet.
Yep.
All right, so another one, which I think is hilarious. This chick, her name is Elena Shepard. Polysemic. I don't know what that is. It's a political news and cultural website forum that launched in 2011. In January 2013, was MCA Video Jaws. Wow. Okay. So that's the first one. Okay.
Nice.
I say, because the one that I looked at was just the compact disc.
Freaking nerd.
I know, right? Jeez. Pull that one out of your butt. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I mean, for the love of God.
Who the fuck is this asshole?
I mean, geez, that's very true. So time travel, good point, Denise. Time travel could be coming, or it's already here and we just don't see it. Anyways, predicted red box. I mean, could have capitalized, dude.
Yeah.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda. But that's all right. So this Elena Shepard, in January 2013, was assigned to a live blog, the Golden Globes, and she basically predicted 100, like all 25, the people that would win the Golden Globes in 2013.
Jeez.
100%, all 25 people. She got it right.
Well, I mean, not to downplay her accomplishment there, but there was like a a cat or something that predicted like 10 or something Super Bowl winners or something like that.
I mean, 10 Super Bowl winners. Well, I'm talking about 25 people.
Well,
with categories of like 4 or 5 different movies.
It's not that cat's fault that it didn't live that long.
True. That's a good point. Boats and Hoes. Good point. Good game. Or good song. Right? That is pretty wild. So another one I want to talk about too. Robert Heinlein. It's either Heinlein or Heinlein. I don't know. It's Hein and then line.
Okay.
Exactly. Heinlein will not be the only science fiction author on this list. Authors in the genre are, of course, known for looking into the future and extrapolating what it might hold. Heinlein certainly had his share of speculations about the future, which turned out to be pretty accurate, but a couple of them mind-bogglingly specific. In his short story "Solution Unsatisfactory," Heinlein depicted a United States that develops a nuclear weapon before the rest of the world, becoming the only superpower and spurring. Jeez.
I was thinking about that too.
Nice. So, only superpower and spurring a race among other nations of the world to develop a bomb. This is, of course, a perfect description of the nuclear arms race and the Cold War, which kicked off after the U.S. deployed nuclear weapons against Japan in 1945. This book was written in 1940. Dang. Before the United States had even joined World War II, and when the feasibility of nuclear weapons, was still largely speculated. Almost stranger than this is Heinlein's near invention of the waterbed. In 1961, novel Stranger in a Stranger Land contained a detailed description of such a bed, so detailed that the eventual inventor of the waterbed had trouble getting it patented. The
Oh
patent,
God.
yeah, the patent wasn't issued until 1971. Highland claimed that he had the idea back as far as 1930s. Yep, good times. Okay. So you do it too, and I'll be right back.
Okay. Let me
Or
run up on this.
2 or 3. It doesn't have to be 2. Just whatever you feel like.
Well, I'm going to talk about Baba Vanga real quick.
Do it. Well, I think Dave just kicked himself out of the chat room, so I guess I'm gonna have to wait real quick. Where'd you go, Dave? Did you press F1 delete or whatever and completely take your computer down? That was horrible timing. That was horrible timing.
Absolutely horrible.
All right, I'll be back. Everybody enjoy.
I have too many web pages open here. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with. I guess her name's Baba Vanga. But she was a prophet from Bulgaria who predicted a lot of things, and she actually kind of became quite the celebrity in like the Ukraine, Russia, that area there. Her story, it starts back when she was like 12. She healthy young girl. She was outside, and a major storm had come through the area, and reportedly there was a tornado, and she got taken up by the winds, and she went missing for a few days. When they found her, her eyes were pretty much sealed shut because of like all the dirt and stuff like that was in her eyes, and eventually causing her to go blind. So at the age of 12, they or a couple of years later, they moved her to a place where she learned Braille and all this other stuff. And let's just do this. Let's make me the star here. I'll be the star.
You took my face off, bro, with the snap.
You took your face off.
No, I didn't.
Crazy. Who was the first one to predict people would only... Who would one day predict it? That's pretty interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
I never close it. All right. So anyway, as she got older, she pretty much, like I said, pretty much got famous for predicting things. But her first prediction didn't come to her until she was like in that 3-day period where she was missing when she first had her first vision. And so over the years, she's made a lot of predictions that came true. Some of them being, let me pull this up here. Predictions. She foresaw 9/11. She saw Brexit, and she dropped like her prediction exactly was that the 44th U.S. president would be
what?
That the 44th U.S. president would be black. She nailed that one. She also predicted the 2004 tsunami and several other major events.
Wow. Nice.
Now, some people, like, during her time, she became like such a rock star, like over in Europe, that like so much so that like the Kremlin would send people to visit her to get predictions and I guess to foresee the future, and so they can adjust their she did things for the I can't remember what he was called, some guy that worked with the Russian prime minister or whatever he's called before Putin.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know who it was. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Boris Yeltsin. I think it was. Anyway, she passed away though. She's been dead for a while. She died at the age of 85, but not before she made some predictions for 2022. She was like, you know what, 2022 needs me. Here we go.
This is the year that's calling to me. We better make some predictions.
Basically, what she did was gave a time frame for things to happen, and people just associate them with certain years. That's how this kind of worked out. And some of these I could see possibly coming true, but the fourth one, yeah, it's pretty interesting. So, number one, she predicted that there would be an increase in catastrophes, including earthquakes and tsunamis. Like I said, she predicted the 2004 tsunami, and revealed that a huge wave would cover the coast and people would perish. Then she predicted that in 2022, several Asian countries, along with Australia, will be struck by intense bouts of floods.
In 2022.
In 2022.
In Asian countries.
Yeah, several Asian countries and Australia will be struck by intense bouts of flood. What was that sigh for?
It's actually something that's been on my mind for a while now. But anyways.
What's that? Spit it out.
Oh,
Spit it out.
just water movements and changes and areas getting more water than they should. And as we know, there's definitely parts of Australia that's like super dry. But what if that changes?
I don't know.
In the Asian countries, the only ones that I can really think of is all those along the coast and Japan.
In Japan, yeah. Indonesia, Taiwan, Pakistan, India. Those would be some others. Which I could see, some of like the ones on the coast, I could see them getting nailed.
But inland, that'll be hard because it's all desert. Mostly desert.
Yeah. So then another one she predicted was the discovery of a lethal virus in Siberia. She says a team of researchers will discover a lethal virus in Siberia that was, up until now, frozen, but due to catastrophic events of global warming, said virus will be released and could quickly spin out of control.
Ooh.
Just what you guys wanted to hear, right?
Honestly, okay, so I've been, with how strange our weather has been getting, I've been looking at other countries, and I really feel like the weather this year is just going to be wild.
I know it was nice today.
Yes.
Like this month has been unnervingly nice.
Here's the thing. Here's what I think: there's some geoengineering happening, and the Earth's either trying to correct itself or doesn't really know what to do.
Right.
Like there's too much weather modification or manipulation happening, and it was so weird. So I was coming out of work Sunday night, and the wind, it just felt different. It didn't feel like, I don't know, it just felt like soft, like I was getting hit with a cushion.
Right.
It didn't feel like how wind feels. But I don't know, you guys can call me crazy or whatever, but that to me, just something that could be one of my predictions. I think this year, what?
You want to wait on it?
I don't care.
Okay, because here after I do this, we'll do our predictions. Okay.
Yes, and Kim is right.
I'm only going to do one more before, and then we'll get into our own predictions. Okay.
I did drop that geoengineering bomb. You bet it. I'm not afraid to put that red pill into play.
So earlier we were talking about all the stuff going on with outer space and aliens and everything.
Yeah.
Well, she had a prediction.
Oh.
That an alien ship will attack Earth using an asteroid known as Oumuamua. I think
Oumuamua.
That's Oumuamua.
Oumuamua has already been here and gone, though, I thought.
Yeah. She says that this asteroid will be sent by aliens to seek out life on Earth, and the unearthly beings could even take prisoners when they touch down.
Thankfully, nothing's touched down yet that we know.
I'm going to do one more also, because I think this one
go for it.
Damn well could come true.
Damn well.
Damn well.
Darn right.
It's that good.
Good.
The clairvoyant revealed that this year we'll see people spend more time than ever in front of screens. Due to our ever-increasing addictions to technology, many people will embark on a downward spiral and will dangerously confuse fantasy with reality. So,
I think that one's already happening. Like it's already
yeah, I think it started happening also, but she's saying it's going to go into this downward spiral.
Well, think about this. So not only did we have COVID, where people were forced to pretty much stay home.
Yeah.
What did they have to keep them entertained the entire time?
Exactly.
This TVs, whatever, anything you can think of. But what you just said, where people would confuse real with reality, Facebook's Meta.
Yeah.
The Meta universe, they're gonna start. And Gamer, I don't know if do you remember the movie called Gamer? Do you remember that movie at all?
Yeah.
With Gerard Butler, so where like human beings could control actual other human beings and use them in games. Well, there was this game world, I can't remember what it was called, but they would take over these people's body. It'd be like if there was a restaurant, for all those people that don't know what I'm talking about, is these people, there'd be two different kinds of realms, or not realms. I'm trying to. The world was all the same, except there was also this virtual world that was lived through real people. So these people would go to this virtual staging area, which would be like, it would be their job. They'd get paid to be there, right? Well, what's happening is people over the internet are controlling the actions that they do. And I'm not saying that they type something in and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, read this and then I'll do it. Okay, great. No, they literally controlled everything they did.
Yeah, I remember that.
So you had people doing crazy stuff. You had people like running people over, shooting people. Like there was even graphic scenes where people were being forced into sex. Like it was wild. So Meta, there's already talking about how somebody like forced, like groped them or something like on Meta or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but hey,
Have you seen like the presentation for Meta?
It's
the
wild.
metaverse, like the metaverse.
Yes.
Yeah, that
the commercials are creepy as crap to me. With the animals and stuff and the weird virtual, it's just creepy.
Yeah, the whole meta universe thing that fits right in with that prediction. So she could be down on that. But then again, also if you tie a couple of these predictions together, like Kim said, they've already found viruses in permafrost. If a virus does come out from Siberia, we go on lockdown again. We're stuck in front of our screens again, and we just go in this downward spiral, and the economy collapses.
Yep, that could be their next excuse is like, oh, this new virus from somewhere, not actually from COVID. It's a completely different one now, which COVID weakened our bodies, and now this virus is coming on, so it's going to kill even more people.
Imagine their reaction. We were controlling this. What the hell happened here?
Yeah, what is this? They're not in control of anything, but whatever. Yeah, it's a big possibility.
Very big possibility.
Permafrost is also exposing a lot of different land, a lot of ancient things down there.
Like in Antarctica? The holes that are opening up in Antarctica right now?
They're just caverns, and I mean caverns of giant land masses.
Yeah.
And just huge open areas with lakes and all this kind of stuff underneath the ice.
Yeah.
That's fascinating. That's so fascinating.
There's a hole that has opened up on Antarctica that is as big as Arizona.
Yeah.
The state of Arizona fits right in it.
People can fly into it.
It's interesting stuff.
In Earth theory, what?
They'll be coming after my pure blood.
Me too.
All right.
My pure blood and semen.
They're gonna my virginity. They're gonna try to take it, but I won't let them. All right, guys. Let's move on to our. I think it's time that we make some predictions for 2022, and then we will see if any of them come true. All right. Since you were about to go on one, go ahead and you start us off.
I got to remember where I was at. Oh, yes, the weather and other weird things. Yes, I think that there will be some very, not, do I want to say significant? I believe that our weather is just going to keep drastically changing, and 2022 is going to see some of the weirdest weather around the globe. That's my prediction. That's one of them.
It's a pretty blanket statement. I'll take it though.
Well, what do you want me to say? Like
I mean,
Africa's going underwater. Like that's.
there you go.
I know. There's no way Africa's going underwater.
No.
It could be. I mean, you never know.
I'm being a little more precise with my
So
predictions.
you didn't say we had to be precise.
That's fair. So my first prediction is not paranormal related or anything like that. Some people are just gonna be like, "Oh well," but so Tom Brady said he could play till he's 50, but next year is gonna be Tom Brady's last year.
You think 2022 is going to be his last season?
Yep, injury, baby, done.
Now you're just wishing for Tom Brady to get hurt, aren't you?
No, I would love to see him play till 50 and still be at that level, but I don't think it's going to happen. I think he'll have an injury next year that will cause him to miss significant time, and then he's going to realize his body is not going to react with this injury that he wants. So I think he's going to be like, you know what, my body says it's time. It's time.
All right, how about this? This will change up my prediction a little bit. I think we will see multiple natural disasters next year.
Okay.
That could be 2
major ones.
10. Yeah, I think there's a lot coming.
And on that same note, my second prediction kind of falls along in line with that, but my second prediction is the Northeast and northern part of California, that area, is going to be seeing some major natural disasters in way of earthquakes. I think it's going to open up a fault line. I think we're going to see that finally start to split. Not that it's going to like split off and they're going to float out in the, but we're going to see some split coming up.
That's
I think it's going to be some major earthquakes.
Yellowstone's due too.
I know.
So is the New Madrid in Missouri. Anybody else have any predictions that they would like to share or comment on?
And just so you guys know, on our Patreon page, you can catch the After Dark show, which is basically our show after this, where we continue. And we kind of let our hair down a little bit, and we will make some predictions, and we will take some questions also here, since we have 8 minutes. If anybody has any questions you want to ask us.
Did you see what Cassie just said?
What's that? Yeah.
There's a lot of weird weather going on right now. Lots of weird weather. I mean, Hawaii in the mountains got like over 24 inches of snow. That's freaking nuts.
So, staying along this line real quick, guys, I have with me a Magic 8 Ball. Oh. And if anybody has any questions for the Magic 8 Ball, we will answer your questions. So you can throw that in the chat.
I like Cassie's prediction. Cassie's prediction.
Betty White
won't die. Yep.
Aliens will come and take her blood along with Keith Richards and make immortals.
Ooh, you know what? I'm going to say my second prediction. I think we're going to see a financial collapse in the next, maybe not next year, but next 2 years.
Got to be in next year.
Okay, we're going to see a financial collapse next year.
I hope yours does not come true.
I hope it doesn't either.
I was going to say one, but I'm not so sure I should say it on open airs because it has to do with the president.
Oh. Well, if it has to do with anything about Kamala being the first president, we know it's right. First female president. No,
won't happen.
I don't know. If something happens to Joe, she's the next in line.
Well, that would be by default. She won't be the first elected president.
Technically, she is. She would be, because
she was elected
vice president.
But she wasn't elected president. She got it by default.
Hey.
If something happened.
Hey, that's what I like to call adrenochrome.
If anybody has any questions they want answered, any hard-hitting questions for the Magic 8 Ball?
I got one.
What you got? I wish I could do like that ball shit. Like,
David Bowie.
David Bowie in Labyrinth. Yes.
Yes. Let's see. Will we see aliens next year?
Hard hitting questions right out the gate. Come on, Magic Gate. Signs point to yes.
Cassie said the same thing. Will aliens reveal themselves? Yes. Yeah, financial collapse. Oh, I mean, it just makes sense. I mean, the world's already like, if you see The Simpsons for like the first episode of January 2021, it's like it's the end of the world. The world's like nuclear. Like just and Homer's sitting on his roof, I think, with a gun or whatever, while the world's just burning around him. It's like that's the direction we're headed. That's perfect. You're
Wrong
not
kind of
supposed
8-ball
to
there,
shake
Justin.
the 8-ball. Oh yeah, that's.
Why not? I'll put it down. We can get a few more questions in here, guys. A couple more questions.
Denise, the financial collapse. It's I mean, maybe not a complete collapse of the entire system of the finances, because I'd really not like to be broke like that. But with how much money they're printing off and how much things just keep growing and growing as far as inflation goes, it's got to stop somewhere.
It creates bubbles. So.
I know where I stand with aliens. This is boring now.
All right, Odd. To answer your question, it says, my suspicions say no. He will not go through with the surgery.
Well, do you have a question, RC, that you want to ask the 8-ball?
8-ball's response for the terrestrial images, or?
Well, we already see the illegals, but
Yeah, they've made themselves known. Sort of.
Will our house fairies leave 8-ball? Kim Libby asks.
Says ask again later.
Oh no!
So you got to join us next week.
Sounds like
you'll get your magic
house
ball.
fairies. It's okay. Earlier, while Dave and I were in chat, my lamp turned off. Out of nowhere, it just turned off, and I'm like, wait a second, it got a little darker. Will the 73rd booster cure excessive toenail growth?
Justin, the answer to yours is it is decidedly so.
I mean, by that time, we're going to have...
If we're going to have 73 boosters, I mean...
I wouldn't say we're going to have 73. We're going to at least, let's see, within how many months? So 12 months, and they're already talking about a 5th booster. We're going to have at least the 10th or 15th booster.
Yeah,
Jeez.
We're going to have mutants.
Oh,
so...
there's an article that I read that they're saying now that Omicron, if you get it and you recover from it, you already automatically can't get Delta now. Huh.
Yeah, and so if we have that many boosters, I mean, we're going to have mutants. We might have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles happening. So that'd be really cool. Real life Ninja Turtles.
That'd be pretty sweet. A ton of energy to clear. I really wish we'd start using nuclear energy more.
Fairies and wee people. With the little people, I would talk to Brandon Callahan.
Virus pyramid scheme. Yep.
Fairies, I'm not too sure about who would know more about fairies. Justin?
Buying into it. I mean, you got to think it only supposedly stops the symptoms.
Will weed become legal federally?
I think it's coming, Cassie.
It's coming. It's got to be coming.
I really do. I think it's coming.
Ooh.
With how much money it makes, I get. I will say, if the federal government really wants everybody to be distracted and all that kind of stuff, boom, there's the answer. Just legalize weed.
A-Ball says my sources say no.
Oh, can let us all down.
Maybe not this year. Maybe not next year. Maybe the year after that. We don't know. Well, guys, that's going to do it for us here tonight on Boogeyman Radio. If you want to follow us over to our Patreon page, we have a tier set up where you could catch our After Dark show and experience more of this magic 8-ball fun, and then some. And we're gonna hit an 8-ball and then just go crazy on our channel. But no, you guys can come over there. Everything that we raise on our Patreon goes back into the show, so that's pretty awesome. You guys get some more awesome content. Hey, Charles, I do have something I need to run by you before we start the After Dark show. So, could something be in the works?
Possibly.
Find
Good
out
to see
later.
everybody. Come by and see us. Come by and see us to the Patreon. We'll say hi to everybody.
No, Justin.
Only face.
There's totally separate pages.
Wait, Dave, did you finally start that feet page I told you about?
I did. It's
so happy.
It's a borderline feet, and it's one of those mush fetishes, but it's like feet and poop.
Oh, that's good. That's high market for that, you know.
Yeah, it helps my skin. All right, guys. We'll see you later.
Have a great night, everybody. Take care. It's good to see everyone.